Now, in the rest of the day's news, the South Korean economy posted positive growth in the April to June period compared to the quarter previous to that, mainly on the back of record growth in terms of private consumption. Seo Eunkyung with the details.
The South Korean economy has posted positive growth in the second quarter of 2021. The Bank of Korea said on Tuesday that the country's second quarter real GDP growth was up 0.7% on quarter and 5.6% on year. This marks the South Korean economy's fourth consecutive quarter of growth after the pandemic led to a downturn in the first two quarters of 2020. The central bank says private consumption played a big part in the strong results as it rose by 3.5% in the second quarter, the biggest growth in 12 years. The figure was mainly led by rising spending on semi-durable goods such as clothing, as well as in the service sector, including food and accommodation. Government spending also increased by 3.9%. On the other hand, exports declined by 2%, mainly due to a decrease in automobiles and LCDs.
The contribution of private consumption to GDP growth increased while that of exports declined. Looking more closely, contribution to growth by private and government spending has increased sharply from 0.8 percentage points in the first quarter to 2.3 percentage points in the second quarter. Meanwhile, the contribution of net exports declined. This is because imports increased while exports decreased.
The economic growth in the second quarter exceeded the minimum growth rate that the country needs to achieve its 4% growth target. The central bank raised its growth forecast this year from 3% to 4% in May, based on the economic recovery up to the first quarter. Seo Eunkyung, Arirang News.